the Marie Curie for Ukraine program, which has allowed our scientists from the University of Tartu to host and assist our Ukrainian colleagues during these difficult times as they fight for our freedom. Thanks to the Marie Curie for Ukraine program, we can host our colleague from Kharkiv University as our team member. Our institute has researchers from very many countries, including, for example, Belarus, where scientists with pro-Western views critical of the government are persecuted. However, they did not come to work with us under the very same circumstances as our Ukrainian colleague, who is the first war refugee in our group. My story is quite personal. We met with a Ukrainian colleague about 10 years before the war, when we collaborated on a project about the demographic history of the Slavic populations. We had also established a great interdisciplinary network connecting the researchers of humanities and natural sciences, like archaeologists, historians, and geneticists, which is crucial in studies of the human past. When the war broke out, we did not hesitate to extend a helping hand to our colleague, and Kharkiv University had suffered significant damage in the early battles of the war, and we offered our colleague the opportunity to come to work with us if leaving the country was in their plans. We were actively searching for additional funding to enable our colleague to continue work with us, and we found this opportunity through the Marie Curie for Ukraine program. Today, my colleague is studying Ukrainian demographic history using archaeogenetic methods within the project about the genetic, social, and cultural diversity in Iron Age settlements of the Ukrainian forest steppe. And this project provides valuable data for understanding the local prehistory in Ukraine, but also contributing to our knowledge about the European human past. And moreover, this project also involves several other Ukrainian researchers in Kharkiv, local archaeologists and historians, experts in the field, helping with the context to interpret the genetic data.
I also hosted some PhD students from the Institute of Botany of the Ukraine Academy of Sciences. So it was quite natural that when the war started, we had to help them somehow. Fortunately, my institution, Masaryk University, started a program for support of Ukrainian refugee scientists. At this situation, when we were quite desperately looking for funding for Ukrainian researchers, we were really happy that the MSCA for Ukraine program was launched. We are supporting her project in terms of standard academic support, but also at our university we have a large international group, so the working language is English, and we organize seminars in English, so she's attending these seminars. She can give presentations there. We provide feedback on her work, and she also is providing feedback on the work of other researchers. So she's, I think, nicely integrated into our activities. She keeps contacts with scientists in Ukraine, and from time to time we have visitors who work, for example, at universities in Western Ukraine, which is a relatively safe part of the country. So they come for a week or so, and they work together. They are also invited to our seminars. So through our Ukrainian displaced scientists, we are also keeping active contacts with other researchers in our field in Ukraine.
My colleague has also a chance to develop new skills both on research but also on project management and networking, and the capability of conducting independently internationally recognizable research projects in the future after returning to their home university in Ukraine. And we are also very proud of the fact that my colleague has been active in teaching at their home university and continuing lecture courses, which have now moved from the classroom to the web, helping us preserve the connection with students in Ukraine.
University of Tartu has really taken a strong stance to support Ukraine staff and Ukraine students, and it's both on the education side, but also as refugees.
All the European universities, we have similar missions and we share the same values that are very important for us, but this is something that we can publish. It's very visual. The mission and the values are those that create the environment in which we work. And based on this, we create our international or institutional culture. Based on this culture, we can react immediately. And I'm very grateful that we already had in place this volunteer center. It was not created for the Ukrainian crisis, but it was created in advance, and it serve anytime when we have a particular need to help the society, the people outside the university. With overnight, we increased the number of the students coming from Ukraine from 70 to almost 500 students. It was the same with the staff from 22 to 120, but it was also connected to a lot of additional services like psychological help, language courses, accommodation, scholarships. Then when we recognize that it is not only a question of a few months, we start searching for some additional support, because the money is always, the budget is always limited. Fortunately, we're part of this European University Initiative. So in 2023, we were able to add one of our universities in Ukraine as associate partner to this alliance, EDUC.
What is the biggest challenge of hosting Marie Curie for Ukraine researcher? Then I'm sure by far this is the uncertainty about future.
How long will the war last? So we are not able to plan, and her project is going to finish in March next year, and we don't have any continuation of funding for her. So it's really like stressing situation. It's not a normal like visiting scientists coming for 2 years and then go back to her institution. They have children here. They are attending Czech schools, so they learned Czech language, and it would be like quite difficult for them in the middle of school year to go back.
Obstacles, of course, language, and it was surprisingly for us that the culture it's really different. So in university culture, personal culture, and then where is the border between help and the time when we have to give incentives also to our staff, because they were very supportive, very helpful at the beginning, but you cannot stay in this mode forever, because everything in our university is digital and not all of the colleagues were prepared for this. Recognition of the qualification, probably we are all aware of this, but sustainable funding, was it worth it to go through this support to Ukrainian universities? Definitely I could say yes, it was a very good opportunities also for us. It was a personal support to those scholars and those colleagues, but it was also a great opportunity for us to increase the understanding of the Ukrainian higher education environment, institutions.
And University of Tartu has used this position as a member of many outstanding university networks in Europe to actually advocate for the support of Ukraine, advocate for the discounting, what Russia is doing. And I believe that it's very important that we, the bordering universities of European Union, really take the strong stance.
I'm sure that we will continue to collaborate in the future through joint scientific projects and workshops and staff exchange to help Ukraine science and people recover from the consequences of the war when the victory day comes.